Hi guys, today I decided to talk about some of the changes that I've made in my own beauty and skincare and makeup routine just to become a little bit more mindful and sustainable. All these changes are pretty minor in the grand scheme of things, and I wouldn't say like my quality of life has decreased significantly. All the things that I replaced work just as well or even better than the original things that I used to use that are maybe less sustainable. I think I will probably make another video about more like householdy things, maybe even clothes, because I like to thrift. It's really fun. But today we're going to talk about shower and beauty, so if you are interested, please keep on watching. So the first thing that I would like to talk about is reducing plastic. In every single category that I've mentioned before, there are... My cat is just gonna walk over there, I think. Maybe not, she's full of surprises. So I'd first like to talk about reducing the use of plastic and just like reducing the frequency of how often you need to rebuy the same thing. I think a lot of us use body scrubs on a pretty frequent basis, and since I self-tan, I have to use body scrub at least once a week when I have to remove the old self-tan to put the new one, you know, to shed the old layer. So instead of a body scrub, however, I learned that a better option is to use these scrubby gloves. They are a lot more abrasive than any scrub I've ever tried, and this can be good or bad, of course, depending on what you want. I do need a bit of abrasion because I need to remove the old tan. If you are just wanting to use the scrub just for mild exfoliation reasons, maybe you can use like a cloth, or maybe there are gloves that are not as abrasive. I haven't really researched the market, but I really like these ones. If you want something stronger, these are from Soap and Glory. They have lasted me for, I believe, at least 2 years, and they're still going strong. I mean, they are a little bit disheveled, but could be better, could be worse. I really swear by them and I really like them. I use them regularly. Another thing that I use in the shower that replaces the need for a physical exfoliant for your face is this little scrubby face thing. I got this, I believe, in a kit. It was a skincare kit from, I believe, Derma E. It was such a long time ago, but this little thing, I bet you can buy it anywhere like Amazon stores. But this little thing I use every single night when I wash my face. I don't want anything abrasive on my face compared to my body, so this is great. The bristles are really soft. This is silicone, so it's not gonna harbor bacteria. I think that's how silicone works. It kind of helps me get a deeper cleanse without traumatizing my face, because I do have pretty sensitive skin. This one is great. A little cheap thing that completely changed my skincare routine for the better. Another thing that's in the realm of reusing rather than buying individual items that you have to replace often is reusable shaving product. So this is the razor that I use. This is from the brand FFS, but there are many brands that do these kinds of things. I also have another razor that's like a safety razor, and the only thing that you have to replace is the blades. But because you cannot replace the head is not flexible. So I used to be a bit, you know, not very careful, and there were some accidents happening sometimes. With this one, it's still accidents happen because I'm just not very precise, but a lot softer, a lot more gentle, because the head moves. And to remove the head, you just press this little button here, and this thing comes off, and you can put a new one when your old one is no longer operating how you want it to. Another shaving thing is this face razor. I used to use the little plastic ones that you're supposed to replace after using them a couple of times. And actually, this is one of those things that I love the replacement a lot more than the plastic ones. Because with those, I found that the little bristles, the little teeth, one of them would like become bent, and then when you would shave your face, it would cut you, and it was painful and uncomfortable, and irritation happened, all of those things. But this thing is great. It is a lot more sturdy, a lot heavier, so it's easier to manage because the face is delicate and there are a lot of like crevices and whatnot, folds. Again, very easy to remove the old blade, put it a new one, and it comes with this little holder, and it just stays like this in your bathroom. Really cute, nice, and would definitely recommend. With the razor, just the regular one, if you are gonna be bothered by the fact that the little coating comes off, like this rose gold coating, maybe look for another brand because it does come off. I am not that bothered by it though, so I would 100% suggest making the switch if you are ready to invest in longer lasting shaving equipment. Oh, and by the way, these are the replacement blades for both of them. They come in like this little cardboard packaging, and this is just plastic. Another great tip that I have is getting things that are multi-purpose. So this is just a little bottle of jojoba oil that I've had for probably 3 years. I use this in so many different instances, especially when I travel. So you can use this as cuticle oil, hair oil, makeup remover, shaving oil, just overall like a moisturizer. It is great if you travel and you don't want to take a bunch of little bottles with you, so it's gonna be very convenient to just take this little thing, and it's a multi-purpose product. I would definitely recommend it. This is in a glass bottle. I also used it to replace the oil in this cuticle oil container because it is easier to place it with a little brush rather than a dropper. I tend to only buy cruelty-free and vegan products unless I'm making mistakes, because it just happens. But this one was a gift. It wasn't vegan or cruelty-free. I still used it because I had nobody to give it to. So I used it up, and instead of tossing the little container, I just refilled it with some oil. I'm not sure if this is jojoba oil or some other oil that I had, but yeah, reusing containers, another great little idea to become a bit more sustainable. It's not going to change the world, but it's a nice little start, I guess. Another shower thing that I love is using these reusable little towels. These are makeup erasers. I use them after using a cleansing oil. I rinse it off with like the makeup, and the residue I just wash it off with one of these things. They're very soft. I've had this for probably 4 years, and as you can see, they look great. No, not a lot of wear and tear. Well, there is a bit, but still pretty good for a 3 or 4 year item. I use them every single night. I switch them around, and I just put them in the wash. Nothing fancy. I don't put them in a separate bag or anything. I feel like they wash really well, they don't stain, and I would 100% recommend them. So packaging is of course a big thing in the sustainability movement, I guess. You could go the route of like bar shampoos and bar conditioners, but I found them to be pretty drying, and I have pretty long hair, and it's very fine, so I wouldn't want it to be weighed down or tangled. The two combined is just a deadly combination. So instead of going the shampoo bar route, I decided to go the pouch route. So this is just a little shampoo pouch. The brand is redundant here. It's from WeDo. I think maybe it's a UK brand. Maybe not sure. But this is like 1 liter of shampoo, and you can just refill the shampoo bottle that you had before. And this thing lasts forever. There's of course less packaging. It is more sustainable, and you are not compromising on the experience of just having a regular shampoo. So lastly, in the shower category, this is another thing that's a sustainable alternative to something that we all use without compromising on the experience. So this is a little shower gel from the brand Wild. They're mostly known for their deodorants. This is a reusable bottle, and basically what you are buying is this little bottle on the inside, and this is biodegradable, and you pop it into the reusable bottle and you just use it as a regular shower gel. It is sustainable. Wild has some great fragrances if you're interested in that. I find their shower gel to not be too drying or too creamy. I feel like it cleanses well. great experience. I would definitely 100% recommend. Now, when it comes to this thing, I was debating whether I should include it or not, but I kind of like this little container. Well, you'll see what I talk about. So I wanted to put it in, but I think it's just in the human nature to covet little cute boxes and containers and makeup bags that we get randomly and store random things in them. So this is a little container from Nudestix. It came with their bronzer, but I'm not using the bronzer. I am using the bronzer, but I don't keep it in this container because it would just be a pain to open it and get it out every single day. So this container comes with a little mirror, and what I keep in it is just bobby pins. I like the color. Actually, I think it looks really sleek. It's small enough and it's aluminum, so it looks kind of better quality, I guess. You could also use this for like in your purse for like a little lipstick case because it has a mirror, so it's great like that. I bet you are already doing this. You're probably reusing little boxes and containers that you have that you like how they look, but yeah, I just wanted to include this one. So when it comes to hair, I could only think of one change that I've made, I believe, and this is investing in some secondhand items. So this is just a curling wand. I had a curling wand when I was a teenager, and then I stopped curling my hair for probably 10 years, and then I got this maybe like a year or two ago. And my first thought was, well, I wouldn't want to spend like the full price on something that I'm not sure if I'm going to use enough or that I'm going to like, because I honestly forgot the process of curling your hair and I forgot whether I like it or not. So I was looking into secondhand ones, and then I thought, oh my god, this is actually great for hair products because you cannot try them beforehand. So it's a lot of people are probably buying them and then they realize, oh, the barrel is too thick, the curls don't stay well enough, or the barrel is too small, I don't have the full curls that I wanted. So people resell them, and it's great because you can try things out like that too without breaking the bank, and being a little bit more mindful when it comes to how you're purchasing things. So yeah, another great tip. Speaking of face erasers that I talked about before, I also use this little reusable cotton rounds. I use them interchangeably, or for example, if I have like a bold lipstick or bold eye makeup and I want to remove it before actually going in with the oil, because I will just make a mess all over my face. The lipstick is going to be everywhere. So I just use these little things and I store them in this little candle container. I removed the wax and now it's repurposed. I would also like to talk about supporting ethical and mindful brands. So for example, this is Upcircle. A lot of people who are into like sustainable beauty or even natural beauty, I believe a lot of people know this brand because they are extremely ethical. For example, they use used coffee grounds for their scrubs, and a lot of their packaging is glass and recyclable. So this is glass, this is aluminum. I believe all of their products are vegan and cruelty free. I love kind of letting people know that what they're doing is great. I don't know that I worded it right, but you got what I mean. Another brand is Lush. A lot of people know that. They are in a bunch of different countries. This is the Sleepy Body Lotion, one of the most heavenly fragrances in the world. I actually use this as hand lotion because this type of lotion, I would use it up in 1 week. I'm not even kidding. I use a lot of body lotion every single night. Another great brand, you can bring these little containers. This is plastic. You can bring them back to the stores and they will give you some store credit and they will make sure to recycle it. They also are really good about kind of discussing how they source each ingredient, where they source it from, defining what's vegan, what's not on their website. So if you haven't been on their website, I would highly recommend. So another skincare thing has to do with just using things that you have. Maybe you don't love them, but you don't mind them enough to get rid of them. I wouldn't push myself to use something that I absolutely hate, but something that I am neutral towards, I will make a point to use it up, especially if it's already open and I cannot re-gift it, give it to someone. So this is the Iunique SPF. I use SPF every single day, and I used to love this one, but it started stinging my eyes for some reason. So instead of tossing it, I am just using it on my neck. So the SPF that I actually like on my face, I'm going to finish it a bit later, which is great. So I'm saving money, I'm saving packaging being thrown away early on. So using things up is another great way to be more mindful. So while we're on the train of using things up in your makeup is another great way to reduce the packaging that's left in the landfill or whatnot. This is one of my favorite bronzers, so I don't have to push myself to use it at all. This is the Danessa Myricks. Technically it is a contour, but I use it as a bronzer. But rather than buying the new cool thing that's on the market, I think it's great to focus on the things that you love. I actually think it's a testimony to you actually wanting a thing. So for example, if I want to buy, let's say, an e.l.f. bronzer, and first I have to finish this one. So if by the end of me using this one, let's say it's gonna happen in a year, that it's gonna be all done. If I still want that e.l.f. product, it's a true testimony that I always wanted it for a good reason, not just because it's hyped up or anything like that. So using things up, yeah, great. I would 100% recommend. So when it comes to plastic-free packaging, there isn't a lot of brands or even a lot of products that are possible to formulate without like plastic in the packaging. One of the very few things that can be like that is like lip balms, lipsticks. So this one is from a Canadian brand Attitude. This is just a lip balm. You open it and rather than twisting something, you just press it from down there. This finger doesn't fit already, so I have to use the pinky. So you just press it. It comes out like this. Is it the best lip balm I've ever tried? No. It's a little bit drier than the usual ones, but I think it's good. It definitely helps my lips with hydration, so nothing to complain about that. I think this is a Boots brand. This is called Natural Collection, and this is a lipstick in Mahogany Rose. It's not really a lipstick, it's more like a tinted lip balm. I love this color, and it's not fully plastic free because this thing is plastic, but the amount of plastic is of course reduced because the little lid is cardboard and this base too. So another great thing. I would also like to show you this Bare Minerals Mineralist Ultra Natural eyeshadow palette. So this has no mirror, as you can see. This is fully probably biodegradable, I believe. This thing comes off, so when you are done with the shades, which are gonna take forever, you can recycle it. These shades are formulated without talc, so they are really dry. I wouldn't recommend this palette if you like an impactful look. If you like something more pigmented and something that you can blend out really easily. These shades are dry, they're not very pigmented, but they are great if you're looking for like a natural look. Even the black, it doesn't look like black on the eyes, it really doesn't. None of the shades are colorful enough to make a big impact, but it's a great day-to-day eyeshadow palette. So yeah, if you are in the market for something like this, if you don't want a lot of color or pigment in your eyeshadow, you can try this out. By the way, I'm sorry, I think I should make this clear that the most sustainable thing that you could do is just use things up, the things that you have. So I'm by no means trying to encourage you to buy something new. All of these things are just examples of how I kind of transitioned, but you definitely don't need any of those, especially if you have something similar. This is a brow product from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a eyebrow powder with 2 little shades, so there's nothing special about it, but I have had this thing for probably 3 years, if not more, probably more, and I don't have pen in it, even though I have used it quite a lot in that time. So getting things that will last you for a long time is another great way to save money and I guess be more sustainable. And another tip that I have is probably becoming more mindful of what you actually like. I have a great example with that. I remember looking at palettes and I was in the market for a shimmery taupey color because I didn't have that in my collection beforehand. So I was looking at palettes, and every palette that I saw this shade in, I would put in my cart so that then I can compare. And after thinking about it, I thought, well, I only put these palettes in the cart because they have that one shade that I'm on the market for. But the rest of the shades there, I either am not interested in or I already have in our collection. So I found a solution. a single eyeshadow. So this is just from Chantecaille. Of course, this is just an anecdotal example, but this is a Mermaid eye color in Triton. And rather than going for a bigger palette, I decided to just stick with the shade that I was on the market for. This is not an affordable single eyeshadow, but it's almost like my little treasure, and every time I open it, I feel like it's something special. And I am happy that I have it outside other shades that I either don't want or already have in my collection. It's just this little thing, and I can focus my entire attention on it when I open it because it shines alone. So I would like to wrap up this video by just reflecting on sustainability in general. I think it's definitely a journey. It's not a destination per se, because I don't think anyone in this world can be truly sustainable and truly mindful and truly plastic free. I think we just live in a world that doesn't make that possible. But making these small little transitions in my personal life empowered me and gave me a very clear message that I am responsible and I have power through my ability to purchase. I can dictate things on a very small scale by how I invest in the goods that I use. So I would actually like to know what things you do in your beauty or hygiene or makeup routine that are kind of fall in the category of sustainable. Please let me know. And also I would like to hear from you, like what other topics would you like me to talk about? I thought about making a video about my clothes, like the clothes that I thrifted. Yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you will have a great rest of your day. Take care.